down to the final 3 teams, Krez, and they're playing for some big money.
Yeah, I mean, the cash at this point, you were basically doubling your money almost every single round that you win, so the pressure is on if it wasn't already. But in losers bracket finals, I mean, it's 2 teams that have been here before, but usually not against each other at this point in the tournament. Usually one or the other is used to sitting pretty, kicking back, putting their feet up and watching the lower bracket finals as they sit in grands. But it's Gaming Gorillas that stand tall at the moment, watching these 2 kind of go at it for their amusement here, right? Turtle versus Justice in the bottom here. Losers bracket, one of them is going to go home, going to go away with 3rd place, which is not a common sight.
Losers bracket finals here of the Championship Sunday. It has been an exciting one thus far, and we're about to get this one revved up. Right Turtle taking on Justice. This is the big matchup. We saw them yesterday. Well, first of all, we saw them in the last 10K. Right Turtle was able to take it. They became the champions. Then we saw in the qualifier 1 of October, Justice got their revenge. They got some redemption off. They were able to win, but they had ink. They had ink then, so that's going to be the big difference maker. We've got a different 4th for both teams. That's exactly what you just said. Are they going to be able to gel well enough with those players? You've got Hizzy on the side of Right Turtle facing off against 40 on the side of Justice. So that, to me, is really the story here. Which 4th is going to pop off harder? Whenever you talk about draft tournaments or you talk about any type of randomized situation like this where you're forced to get a sub, it's really that player that has all the pressure on their shoulders. So I'm looking for 40 to come up as big as we just saw him do. I mean, that was incredible work out of him. I mean, I think he was getting 2 pieces, 3 pieces, almost every rotation. I mean, he was all over the feed every single time we watched some major battles go down. He was able to clutch it up when he needed to the most, and the pressure just keeps ramping up from here. We're getting into this one as soon as possible, just waiting for these players to get ready. But we got the layout. Let's check it and see what we're going to be dealing with as far as the maps are concerned here in our losers bracket finals. If you guys didn't see yesterday, Right Turtle were the winners in winners bracket and sent them to the winners bracket finals. They looked great. They shut down the 4th for Justice. Exclusive could not get anything going in the first 2 maps. Finally, Exclusive did pop off. He started to get some really good picks with the sniper. That guy just does not miss. But Right Turtle ultimately took it. So are we going to see a similar thing? We've got 2 juggernauts here. Canals starting this one off. Krez, what can we expect?
I'm gonna tell you, I think we're gonna see some talent. I think we're gonna see some slow takes on B. I feel like we see that almost exclusively from some of these teams, but I think the winner of this map is going to be the one that controls the middle of it the most. If you have eyes on those rotations out, if you can maybe catch people on those rotations, if you have intel from there, that I think is going to be the winner regardless of what side you're on. And also, who gets to defend second? If you can make it to 7-7, if both these teams play clinically and then, on a defensive-sided map, you generally would assume that the defensive team would win most of the time, and we get to a 7-7. If you're defending second, you have an advantage that you can roll with there. So I think controlling mid, name of the game, and if you get defense second, you are feeling pretty good.
Checking out these bans, we've got Glitch on the side of Justice, and we've got Ronin for Right Turtle. So what is the plan here? We've got a switch up. We've got the different 4ths. They pretty much know how each other play by now. They've gotten into the way that they've synced up with these other players. They haven't gotten to play with them just yet, although 40 is very used to getting into last-minute teams. He's done this several times, like we've already said. So what can we expect with the Ronin and Glitch bans?
Talon, I think, is going to be a big deal. Maybe they want to repeat that Seeker on the side of Justice that they just ran on that King of the Hill. I think just using intel to slowly take on the B side of the map. Obviously, the crate side, we see a lot of teams kind of play Talon and just leapfrog very slowly with their radar dart. Just find out where people are holding. I think it's going to be kind of crucial for teams to get that information and decide how they want to approach it. That plus we tend to see a bit of Trench here, holding, you know, either back on site or in that mid cut on top of every single trophy, especially with the glitch gone, those trophies a little bit less kind of in danger.
We've got the game ready. Let's jump in, see what these picks are going to be. Those were some good guesses, though. We did see a lot of Talon action, especially on Canals, being able to hold down one site, let the 3 hold down the other, and use the comms effectively, making sure your team knows exactly the intel that you're grabbing off of that radar. We saw a few times where the Talon was able to grab all 4, knew to get a wide swing through the mid and grab the crucial flanks. So that Talon really does make all of the difference. So right now, not as quick as we saw out of Gaming Gorillas. They seem to always be locked in before we could even get loaded into our screen from our video. But here we go. Finally, they're going to be starting off. We got some Dahlias, Dallas, and then the runway. Slop on the runway. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
We saw some amazing downs, first downs by Slop. A lot of times they weren't capitalizing on Slop being able to get those first downs, though, and that's something I want to see different here in their matchup against Justice.
We'll see if they can do it, if it's safe enough to actually really make that move, but if they can actually finish it off maybe with some frags from Dahlia. Linked with that Trench, they're going to have quite a few in the pocket of Prosper there. But also, I mean, also with the Incend to force people, I think they have a lot of dangerous utility. If I remember correctly, the last time, at least in Qualifier 1, the last time I casted this map, I'm pretty sure there was like a 5 trip mine kill round. If I'm remembering correctly, I think we saw Trips taking down a ton of players. Wouldn't be shocked to see that, something along those lines happen with the way they
feel
want to
like
play
it's
it, but for
always the
now.
10Ks too. Like the qualifiers, we see
Right?
some big trips, but something about the extra pressure, the nerves, maybe it's the tunnel visioning. You know, you're not checking the corners you normally would. You're not being as cautious as you normally would. And maybe that could be it, though. But it just seems like in 10Ks, we see back-to-back-to-back trip kills. And the trip mines just become such a nuisance and are a huge factor. So I definitely would like to see that. We got the runway. Going to be having unlimited amounts of utility there. We are going to stay on with Delana, the #1 winningest. Along with, Frag Out and Gronky are the winningest, but on most people's list, Delana is #1. And if you ever ask for a top 5, top 10 list, you'll hear Delana as being just that guy. He is the one that really just stands out. Here we go. He's going to be that entry frag. He's going to try to take that 1v1 with Slop, and he is going to back down. He did land some good shots, but he's just going to play this one out. See, there's going to be a little meta between these two. They're just going to be playing with each other, and we're going to see where this is going to go. Delana's just going to opt out and get back with his team, going to rotate, get the wraparound going. Slop thought he was going to go mid, but he doesn't. He is able to group back up with the rest of Justice. And now we're seeing a push in. Frag Out has got the cover here. He's going to put some shots down onto his and then roll back out. And now they need to watch this flank. There could possibly be a wraparound coming. No, it doesn't look like there is. Prosper, MS, they're going to be tight on the right corner. Gronky, there's 3 strong on the right. Slop, he's making a play, though. He's going to see what he can do. And this is the one that I was ready for. This is going to be the big play. Slop he needs to hurry.
Yeah, and he's forced to crouch to stay quiet, so I think that's an issue, that they're going to be really low on time by the time he comes in. If they hear him once, it's basically ruined here, but absolutely no clue as he tries to make a move. Delana finds the first, so he feels forced to actually engage there. It's 40 versus him there. Might get the stick on him, it looks like, just in the back, but does find him. Even going for the second, wasn't sure if that had connected. It's a small advantage to Red Turtle. Now they have to protect the defuse, and they will be able to do just that. Fantastic timing by MS. Swing out near the end to finish off Delana, the last player standing. And I was a little worried. That was a bit of an ambitious flank, but even with Delana getting the first pick, the flank is potent enough to turn the round around.
Yeah, and they weren't really open for it. They didn't think that was going to happen. They thought there was 4 strong on the other side of the bomb. You didn't see anybody ready at all. I mean, the only player that I could tell that would have been in the proper position would have been 40. The player we're just witnessing getting taken down. Ooh, the rewind. Okay. Beautiful job out of production. I like it. We're seeing some fancy work out of the broadcast. And that really was it, is the awareness you got to have for the back. Got to know that that is going to be open. All 4 players were looking ahead, and Slop was had a clean. Oh, baby! Slop making all the difference today.
Oh, my. And then the frag right after this Semtex could be lethal if they're still holding close enough there, but it's just a little bit too wide. But they're going to push off this. I mean, as they should. No reason not to. 40 caught in there. They are traded 1 back, but frag out forced to spend those halos really defensively. They see him trying to 3-peek the corner. They burn him out. They take him down, and that's 3 picks effectively instantly for them. It's only Delana still up on this Dallas, and he is, I mean, completely surrounded. There's the last bit of damage. MS on a very long flank, and they just got dismantled.
In the match against Gaming Gorillas, Slop was able to get those picks. He did a great job, but there was no capitalizing on it whatsoever. There's no aggression. There was no pushing the advantage, but now we are seeing a different team. They're starting to come together. This is practice for them as they're moving through the tournament. They're a new team, essentially. You've got that one player, and they have a big impact. That's an entire bit of different decisions and different play style, and you got to understand what rogues they're playing better on, and finally, it seems like there is some stuff coming together here for Right Turtle. They're able to make some much better plays here against Justice with those opening picks from Slop. Incredible flank. I just loved how much time he took to make that flank as well. Prosper opening it up with a nade kill, though, and he's going to get the elim as well, so the 3v4 here immediately. Justice are going to be put down 1 player. Slop going to open this one up again with a Semtex down, and his finishes it off for the 3rd round in a row. Right Turtle are on top of the ball.
Playing very aggressive on this defense. I think that's the way to do it. They have so much utility to just choke these teams, to choke this team out, and that's what they're doing. They're throwing this utility into these kind of forward positions, catching people. I mean, that's almost every pick until the end where Fragout accidentally halo droned himself was just found with early utility into a doorway. And I think this proves that Justice have to mix something up. They can't continue to roll out in the kind of expected way, because clearly Right Turtle have their number right now.
All I'm going to say is he's been playing darn good on this Dallas. Keep him on that rogue. I mean, that's not going to be a banned rogue. We're not going to see any Dallas bans, I don't think. We have seen some Kestrels, but, you know, that is to be expected. Keep him on that Dallas. It's been working. Why not? And so far, the runway for Slop, you're going to probably have to force him out of that position. Prosper, he's going to get that opening kill onto Delana, one of the most clutch players on the side of Justice. So that is always a good thing. Slop answering back here. Going to get 1 onto 40, and there you have it. Another quick round out of Right Turtle.
I mean, blink and you miss it. That round was just basically immediately over. That, again, continued aggression by them. Once they know where they're going, they're able to take advantage of it. The closest thing that Justice, have had to a successful round was when they sent Delana on kind of a fake. He used the snap early, so they thought, oh, they're going A. Let's kind of match this. And they rotated some players over from the B defense to meet them. But it wasn't a fake. It was just Delana snapping and taking a 1v1 while the rest of his team all sat in the cut between A and mid going, all right, Delana, are you going to win it? Okay, you didn't take it. All right, we'll go back to B now. And they've already reset the defenders by that point. So it was just a really strangely slow approach that didn't really take any map control that came out from Justice there. And that's the best round they've had.
I love every time you talk about the snap, the target finder. You just always, it's on cue. You get that snap. it's like you have to do it.
It's a New Yorker thing. I talk with my hands. I don't know. It helps me think. Don't worry about it.
I love it. The target finder has to go with a snap. Got to do it. Gronky opening it up onto his going down fast. He's going to be immediately taken down, but the trade is going to be effective out of MS. Answers this one back. 1 player not down for Right Turtle. And there is a res onto the Dallas. Okay, so now we're in a 2v3. The barbed wire goes down. His just walks into tons of team fire. MS is taken down all the way, looking for that cleanup. Barbed wire going to get cleared out, and the res coming in. And there we go. We're going to watch MS try to take on this 1v4, which is near impossible. Probably impossible. Most likely impossible. Bomb planted. Going to get a little extra points out of that one. MS probably doesn't want to feed too much to them. Wants to just see if he can pick up a little for himself and his team. It doesn't look like they're going to go on the hunt, though, so MS is just going to take his time. Oh, but never mind. As soon as I say that, they are on the hunt. They're able to land some shots, almost take him down. He's still trying to get out of here. Does not want to feed them any extra money to possibly mount a comeback here. They've got this round in the bag. Don't need to add any more to their momentum whatsoever. So good plays here by MS. Still doing a good job at avoiding. And finally, he goes off. Oh, looks like he's going to take a little swim, a little dive.
Get as out of there as possible. Even if it takes that damage, he just does not want to give any extra cash. This is the smart way to do it. I mean, realistically, I know a 1v4 technically isn't impossible, as you mentioned, but he is Trench. I mean, I don't know really what he's going to do at that point in a retake with most of his utility gone, unless he's going to beat them over the head with an APS. He's really not going to be getting in here. Justice, though, they have to be feeling themselves after at least getting around. You know, it's something on the board. They finally weren't stifled on their way in.
6 revives out of 40. 0 downs, though. So not really being a slaying factor. And the same thing, the same story on the other side from his. His really not putting up much numbers as well in the slaying category. So kind of the story that I had already thought was going to be a big deal here is really going to be which fourth comes out and shows up. And so far, it has been a little bit more in the favor of his. His is able to do some good things on this right turtle squad. They're in a 4-1 lead in this first map. They're feeling pretty good about themselves. MS is all set up here. He's grabbing some more candy off the floor from runway. Another trip mine goes down. Man, that's going to be a close trip mine. Yeah. That's much better.
Got to make sure they can't see it at least from a mile away. Let them at least have a chance to accidentally run into it here. Prosper knocked low, and this mid control, as I was saying, could be actually kind of important for them as he runs back, but they give it up. They want to commit all the way over to B, as a lot of teams do here on Canals. Halos eaten by the trophies give them plenty of time to run away, and they're already getting shot at from a crossfire angle, and there could be a player lurking on the far left side from what I just saw.
Yeah, Fragout's ready for it. He was like, okay, we got punished before. I got to make sure I'm checking it. Always got to check it. Oh, great shots by Fragout. So he gets 2. That is excellent opening this fight up. 40's going to get his, so the fourth's 1v1, a little bit of a challenge over on the side. 2v1, though, and the res come in, but that's not going to be enough. Right turtle able to come back and snuff out that momentum.
Slop with very well-placed aggression, catching them mid-res. I think they might have dropped the res just before actually finishing it off to try to take the duel, but Slop already had a big enough advantage where it was too late for them to actually finish it off. Slop and Prosper, I think, to the surprise of nobody, stars currently, but MS is obviously also doing just as good. I mean, all 3 of them have 8 downs. They're doing a fantastic job here so far. As to be expected, I think, from a Canals team on defense at what pretty much is the highest level of Rogue Company. It's a Justice right turtle game. You can't find much better Roko than this.
His making an aggressive play. We haven't watched too much of him, so we're giving him a little bit, and then we get right back off. Okay, forget his. You know, no. he's not important. Oh, we're back to Cracked E-Girl. I would like to go a little bit over and see what these fourths are doing, though. I do want to give some love to these players because they have been coming up big for these two teams. They are the story of the day for me. That is just amazing stuff. Obviously, Ink leaving Justice is a big deal. We've got a lot of drama happening here in the 10K. Prosper going to try to land this cooked nade up on the corner. Does not land. It was a few seconds off. Almost was able to connect. Playing the corner there is going to be MS. Cracked E-Girl, that's 40. He's going to be moving in, checking the angles. We've got some big shots being popped off by MS onto Delana. That's going to be a massive kill. We've got 2 up for Right Turtle still. Here comes the revive, and now there's 3 on 3. Bomb is planted, and the plays are going to be made around it. Fragouts is lurking, though. They've got the call on it. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so aware of that positioning. Looking, checking 2 different angles. Gronky's in a great position right now. Does see 1, I believe. Gronky's got the left, and it's just a back and forth. Prosper is going to be making the push through mid, and then we've got 2 pushing through the left as well. And here they go. They converge in with the smoke. MS and Prosper on point. Some great hits coming in from those grenades. The Scorch. Oh, you just run through that, no problem, and just takes over the day. Wonderful execution out of Justice to end that half.
I mean, great by Gronky in particular, who just had flawless utility usage here. As now we get to see how comps change when the sides change. Not as much as... not really much at all, honestly. We are seeing Kestrel, Dahlia, Trench, and Dallas picked up by Justice. And Runway once again, so that just seems to be kind of an MO here for Right Turtle. They want Slop on this runway. They want him with that sniper. And the AR just to be flexible, I think, across the board for them. But it's going to be Trench on both sides potentially as well. The attack Trench, maybe just to deny some of that similarly aggressive utility-oriented playstyle that they played on defense. Running a Trench into that with all the extra APSs might do well to deal with it.
Right, Delana on the Dallas. Trench, it's going to be 40s. And I'm guessing the Dallas still for his, so that seems to be what's working out, and I'm glad they're keeping it. They're also going to give him the bomb. So Dallas with the bomb is going to be making the push. That's really where it's going to land for me. It's going to be able to see where we go with his, where he can get set up and make some big plays. We've seen him do it before, and to close out this game, he's going to have to do it again. Slop, though, we're going to stay on with him on the runway. Get that case down, get that extra bit of ammo and utility. We've got Slop making a big push here right on the hard right. Frag out is there, so there's 2 strong from Justice. We got 40 and Delana on the other side at A. Delana playing far left A. And then through the mid might be 40 any time now. And here we go, the moves with the smoke. Going to get some good shots through the smoke, and the bomb is going to go down.
They have the plan, but decent positioning right now from them in this Incen, plus the barbed wire will actually deny the standard, one of the standard retakes, which is kind of that wide swing out the right, clear them out, and then clear out those behind the box positions fairly close to the site. These APSs that they've gotten put fairly far forward, I think, will make things very difficult for the defense to retake with their utility, but they're trying to make a move in. Fragout walking up already, knocked fairly low, but Gronky, the first one to hit his mark with those Halo drones. But his still up. They're going to actually get the res on it, and now the defense still has a ways to go with 3/4 of the clock down.
Good shots landed by Slop, keeping players at bay. Oh, and a great positioning out of that Simtex. Is going to knock out 40. Delana does take some shots as well. Right Turtle set up around it and push. Make the right kills happen at the right time. It was really those pop shots out of Slopodopolis that were making sure those players could not push in at all. And they were just in a tough position, not able to get any angles whatsoever. I mean, they would have had to have pushed around the right and wrapped all the way around. But by the time they could have done that, Slop would have readjusted. It was really just having to take those fights and see who comes out on top. There was really nothing else they could have done there. They needed to make a coordinated push. They weren't able to do so. and Right Turtle are in position now. They're really playing a strong defense. They had an incredible attack and already starting off strong here on this half.
And they just bought an insane amount of time in that post plant. Just having all that utility up in the far right side that they had to deal with. Let Slop just wait. I mean, he waited until the very, very last second and just downed the diffuser because at that point, nothing else matters. One person's going to diffuse, stop them. And they can't really accomplish much else with that. 6-2 advantage to Right Turtle. They got the first round on offense, which is fairly surprising. If they can get this next one, that's ideal for them. They know that there might be an economic issue in the hands of Justice after that round. It wasn't the closest. They didn't get a ton of cash from it. They want to push this advantage for this round and then hope to get kind of a miracle one later.
Oh, the stick from the Semtex by Slop. Once again, landing a kill with that. Going to come in here. Does some good damage to 40. 40 still stays up, though, and is going to regain some health. His going to try to take these fights, but is stuck in the barbed wire. 40 goes down, though, by MS. MS does a great job at baiting out 40, or his right there, taking down 40. That's just exactly what you need from a teammate. And there we have it. We are one round away for Right Turtle to take this map number 1.
And I was about to say, Prosper's in the barbed wire. That's giving away information to Delena, probably hearing all that noise. And then he just tossed a fully cooked frag and instantly killed them. It was great. Well done, I would say, by Prosper near the end there, kind of baiting out Delena to stay close, thinking he could get a trade, and then just immediately blowing him to bits on that attempted close hold here. And 2 immediately on the attack. I think that is fairly surprising here for Canals. Are they going to mix things up, or are they going to keep things going and kind of hope that Justice don't make adjustments?
That is really the story. You've got to adapt at this level. Things are not working in your favor. You've got to make a move. His going to land some good damage down. Oh, this trophy saves that player. That is not going to land. The rotation comes in. Just too much holding them off here at B. So they're going to move to A. And here we go. The rotation coming in from Justice as well. No, 40's going to stay back. He's watching the far left. They're all spread out into good positions. Gronky's ready to make it over to A any second now, and they're going to be 4 strong at A with his and MS the only ones over here. So they're setting up some big distraction with this bomb. They know the bomb was out here, so they're going to immediately rotate back because the intel was too good over on the side of Justice.
I mean, they were just setting up for a slot, basically, but the Gronky instead ran up and lurked instead. But Gronky going down, they should fall. That will even things out, and Slop had actually moved up and taken a power position on B. That's the whole point of that rotation. It was to get Slop all the way forward here and to deny this very strong defensive position. But I don't know if he sees Delena. Delena just crouched up. They knew that someone would already have been up there. So Delena ends up winning that one out, and Fragout manages to stay standing. They only have 7 seconds left, and they have to find some damage, some kills here to be able to get this bomb planted. They are able to start to plant it just the last second. MS managing to turn on to 40 and finish him off as an attempted push up top comes in, and it fails at the last moment. Seconds remaining, and Right Turtle get that bomb down, and Justice are just not rotating fast enough.
MS always seems to be there for his whenever he needs him. His was able to call out that player, put 2 nades down, wasn't able to connect with any hit markers, so just backs out and just waits for the help. That was teamwork right there. When you're playing with a team like Right Turtle, one of the best in the world, you know that you can expect it. If you play around that teamwork, you're going to get it. And that's exactly what happened with his. Very smart play out of him. Let's check out the replays from map number 1 here in the losers finals of the 10K Championship Sunday CMG Rogue Company Showdown. It has been quite a show so far. We have seen some great matchups. This peak shot, Slopadopoulos. This was the last peak shot that we really witnessed because they didn't want none of that. You know, Slop's been laying those down all day long, and he only had to land 1, and Justice learned their lesson.
the rest of the rounds they waited and then just got hit by utility. So it was really a lose-lose situation for Justice there. And tough near the end. I think 40 on the previous map of the last set had a decent performance, but that very final round when MS was getting that bomb planted, 40 actually rotated out to stop the defuse, to stop the plant the last second. MS had time to stop planting, kill 40, and finish and start the plant again right before the clock hit 0, as you won't be able to see here. But coming around from the mid-cut and still shooting a player, planting the bomb, and still losing that fight is so tough. And that's the difference between players who have been in, you know, loser bracket finals and grand finals before versus someone who might be a little fresher to this situation.
Map number 1, Canals. Easy peasy out of Right Turtle. They really gained a lot of momentum early on. Did not let up after that. Wasn't going to have a possibility of a comeback. They shut down some major momentum swings that could have happened. As soon as there was a 1-round win out of Justice, Right Turtle shut it down. Breach, going to be game number 2. What can we expect out of this Justice team to be able to get back into this one? This is going to be King of the Hill, so it's going to be a much faster-paced game. We did see some great slays. We see some great shots, so we know they can hang with this Right Turtle team. It just really came down to how well they were playing the Demolition in my mind. But what can they do to get this one back in it?
I mean, apparently just play on Breach, according to Real Blue Facts. And this is one of their best maps, as we mentioned before. So maybe this is just going to be enough of a swing. Just the fact that they're going to a place that they're incredibly comfortable might be the case. And King of the Hill could also be that way. But their fragging potential just didn't really seem to be as there. They were winning some close fights, but a lot of those clutch moments really just went down to good gunny that Right Turtle brought. So refocus, take the chance that you have here of being able to go to one of your strongest maps after a tough loss and use that to mentally reset. I think that's what Justice needs to do.
Bands are ready. We're going to check those out. Like you said, Real Blue has said it. Breach is one of those maps for Justice that is just incredible. They have very, very good record on this map. They're undefeated on Breach King of the Hill for the month. Like a straight month, Justice has been dominating on this one game type alone. This is their absolute best map for both modes as well. So this is a good game, too, to tie things up and essentially to reset the series. Justice have got to make this happen. This is their game to lose, really. I mean, they showed that they could hang in a couple rounds here in map number 1, but this is their map. So we're seeing the Kestrel and the Vi, typical picks. So what can we expect from Justice and their picking selection?
I might just... The bands, are fairly similar, so I think we can expect to see something just about what they played last time we saw this last set. Something aggressive reveals, aggressive rogues, and a absolute bloodlust.
Well, let's get ready to rumble. They are going to get into this one right away. They are not wasting any time. Breach is ready to go. Justice's map, this is it. We are in the losers finals. And so far, Right Turtle are starting to heat up. The more they play, the better they get, is what I'm starting to see. Justice have got to make a big statement here and absolutely dominate on their best map. They're undefeated on King of the Hill, on Breach this month. But, you know, they had Ink. They had Exclusive yesterday. So maybe 40 might be the difference maker to upset that record. Who knows? We'll see if he can jump in and play well. We already witnessed it before this matchup that he was doing just fine. He's going to be on that Scorch once again, and then we've got his on the Dallas once again. So I'm liking it. They're starting to fit in. They're feeling it out. They know exactly what rogues they want to play. We got the Slopodopolis Scorch, though. We haven't seen that today.
And I think it's a good fit for Slop. I mean, obviously, I think solid with Incense, but just a rogue that can be very aggressive, that can take some of these crazy duels, I think will be a solid selection from them there, even if it is a bit of a pivot. But again, I love the Seeker comp that Justice were able to bring to the table here the fact that they play so aggressively off of those bows. They just say, hey, listen, we basically have wall hacks on you and you don't. We just win that fight if we play it that way. I love to see that kind of style of gameplay. Not mirrored on the other side, though. They go for that Dahlia instead. It's almost a full mirror of what we got to see last map 4 of the previous set. We'll see if Right Turtle will have a little bit more luck than Sweet Moose did. And they might. I mean, this seems like a fairly comfortable draft for them all in all, and they put Hizzy again on a rogue he's fairly comfortable with.
That really was the key from the go, and now we're starting to see it. We're down to the final 3. We've got the Gaming Gorillas waiting in the grand finals, and they're just going to be in a very good position. They have been playing outstanding. These teams have got to gain a lot of momentum off this losers bracket finals. 40 going to open this one up with 2 big downs onto his and to MS. Gotta love to see that. MS going to be pushing in. Great opening shots by Pross. He's going to just back off and wait. He's got some intel on 3. He's going to call that one out. Say, hey, guys, I need a little help here. That 4th runs in and finishes him off, though. Delena's going to be there. And now 25 right off the rip with 20 seconds remaining in this hill. Some good objective time immediately for Just Us. Playing this one very well, but his and Slop, the Simtex from MS, opening things up. They're going to get the little bit of trash time, and now they can get their rotation off. But it looks like the control is going to be in the favor of the spawns from Justice. So that was fortunate.
That overheat just making a quick work of Delena there, and as they try to get this rotate, they will be able to tie things back up. And I feel like they can't really stop on the side of Justice. They have to keep moving. That's the way their comp works. If they try to sit and hold and keep a defensive position, I feel like they will lose some of these longer fights. They need to play to the strengths of their composition, and if they get slowed down to a crawl, I just don't see them being anywhere near as successful as they were the last time that they played this map. As they've already popped the quick and quiet, they're trying to make something happen, and Gronky opens up with a pick on MS.
He's making his way for a flank. Got 30 seconds still left in this hill. Slop's going to be able to put down some massive damage. Gets Delena first. Gronky on the little wraparound. Comes through the hallway. Going to take this 1v1. He does have help, though. He's forced to back down. And then the player, he's going to be the third able to get shots down. So good listening. You see those comms come in from this team, and they're just on point. Delena is going to open this one up, though, onto his. 7 seconds left. Rotation coming in. And it looks like Control is going to be in the favor of Right Turtle. They're 4 strong. It's a 3-on-4. MS just waiting this one out, looking for... Oh, they're not going to make the push. Okay, they're going to wait it out a little bit until they're 4 strong, and Gronky gets a kill with the Simtex. I don't know about that. Gronky's in a good position now. He's going to take this fight any second against MS. Some good shots being laid down by his opening it up. Big time out of him. The shots coming in from the back with the flank. That's going to be Gronky. Gronky is able to pick up 2. Shout out to Gronky, one of the winningest players in the game. He gets shut down by Slop, though. Slop's able to just sit in the Ensign with the Scorch. But then the enemy Scorch, 40, comes in and takes him out.
Buys a lot of time, though. Slop does kind of hold for a little while there on that objective here. And they get a bunch immediately. Frag Out and Gronky downed and finished off by the player who downed the other here. To go to just try to finish off this garbage time, and I think just stop rotations, but getting picks now, if you're this far on this side of the map, I feel like it's going to give Justice fantastic spawns for the retake, and Fragout's already here, already nading them away, but that utility goes wide, and Fragout gives his life up for it.
Tied up, 74-74. And now the rotation comes in favor of Right Turtle, immediately getting some good objective time off. Great shots by MS to take out 40. Slop onto Gronky. Slop's just jumping in there, but that's going to be Frag Out that takes him down. All the shots from Delena take down MS. Prosper, one of the last players on Right Turtle, able to put anything in here. Doesn't take any damage from that Ensign. That was surprising. Prosper is able to take down 1, evades another, and is still alive. Playing this area very, very effectively. 40 still on the point. And now here we go. A good flank coming out of Prosper. Prosper just opened up everything for Right Turtle.
power of that Scorched Link. As you mentioned, the Inst enemy doesn't take any damage. When you throw that at someone that's not a Scorch, you don't expect that, even if it is a Dahlia, and that is the way that it works. You're just a little surprised when those immunes pop up, and Prosper can continue to hold these close positions here and find picks like that onto Fragout, trying to make his way in. But that pick does immediately flip things once again for this, but Slop with the 24S holding close, finding 2 more players in. Nothing is counting up, and Justice have to get in fast.
Always forgetting about the link. Darn it. There we go. 1-0. Such a good positioning out of Right Turtle to just finish it out. They took their time with that last hill, and they made it work into their favor. They didn't rush anything, and that's one thing to take away from these games if you're a new competitive Rogue Company player, is to not really desperate any of these hills when you know that you can just wait it out a little bit, wait for your teammates to come off spawn, and get better positioning. And just staying alive, being that distraction over in the back side of a hill can make all the difference. You're essentially the anchor for your team. You're anchoring down that position, and you're making it much easier for your teammates to push, because it's a double dilemma. They're put into a very difficult spot when you have to worry about that player that's in such good advantage point for the hill. And here we go, the immunity out of 40. So play's going to be basically just lining up the shots on these corners, and the team shot is just too powerful. Oh, the punch from his is going to be shutting down Gronky and his flank. Get that flank out of here. His been playing outstanding ever since he was able to get onto this Dallas and stay away from those cheeky grenades. But no, he's been outstanding. He's been playing so much better now that he's starting to understand how this team likes to gel. He does get taken down right there by a good team shot. He probably could have waited just a little bit longer there, but that is okay. He puts the damage in. His teammates are there to pick it up. Fragout does get an opening kill onto Prosper. MS, he comes back at it with a kill onto Frag, though. And here we go. The rotation comes in. Still 0 seconds out of Justice, but that is going to change. Gronky opening up the first battle after rotation onto Prosper. That's going to be huge, and now they have good control with a numbers advantage.
Another pick from MS as well, trying to lurk around. They want to get them off of this hold, because if they can't contest it, that's advantage to them. 53 points still available to take, because Prosper will get an opening for them. Great spot to be here from Slopodopolis. Potential to take down 2 if he's aggressive enough, and 40 will not be able to stop him. So quick swing back for Right Turtle as they maintain their advantage on a favored map for Justice. Justice just struggling, it seems like, to win some of these gunfights, which is paying so well into the hands of Right Turtle, because they get stopped just before 70. The contest is there, but they choose to give it up to go for C.
Here we go, 15 seconds left out of this hill. The fight does start for the new one. Got the pop from Gronky, going assassin mode. Almost has an opportunity to take down Prosper, not going to be able to capitalize, doesn't want to give away his position. He knows he's behind 2 right now. He takes some early shots, he's able to secure it. The nade goes down, and he is 1 HP away from taking down Prosper. Oh my gosh. Prosper able to survive by a hair. Gonna run in here with the linked Scorch. Runs right through the Ensign. Delana gonna get double teamed. He's confident in Slop to be able to take him down, but oh my gosh, that was a trade. Delana, big trade out of him. Now we're going to see a different type of approach here onto the C point. It would have changed everything had he committed more to helping out his teammate, but now he immediately runs into Teamfire, and Justice are able to come back, all because of that big kill by Delana. Shouts out to the clutch master, #1 in Roko. Delana able to make some big things happen when he needs to the most. They're getting back into this one. Prosper going to win that fight, though, onto Delana, trying to make that rotation happen. It was a good position out of Prosper right away, getting that early start. MS going to get the pick onto Gronky, though. His in a good location, getting some good intel off. Looking for anybody trying to make the cross. Prosper once again checking the front of the hill, and now looking at the flank. MS going to take down 40. Delana, it's going to be a 3-on-3 push. Gronky able to get another, and they're starting to get themselves back into this one, but the time is ticking for Right Turtle. They're still grabbing time.
It's a battle of the star fraggers here, honestly. Prosper taking down several, and then Delana comes in and takes down 2. But Right Turtle have been ticking away this entire time. They're 25 ticks out of finishing this off. Basically, MS finding another in this close position. They're not revealing as they're coming in, and it's really hurting them.
Cooking up the grenade, not going to make anything happen. Does get some good damage down before he goes. Prosper making a play into the hill now, and we are only 18 seconds away from the win here. Right Turtle can secure it, but Gronky comes up big with 2. Delana finishes one off. Frag out with the grenades. His grenades have been so good. They're looking to hold on to this one, and MS is just going to play the waiting game. He's going to wait for this final fight. He does not want to put any type of numbers disadvantage for his squad. They're going to make this final push and make it smart. But there's a flank coming in. Prosper's not... Oh, my God. Gronky takes out Prosper. Well, wait a minute. Justice were in perfect position. I mean, they had it. They had the control. They had the flank. They had the kills. They got the downs they needed to get. They were looking good. They got out of the hill.
In the business, we call that an old Charlie Niner. They gave it up. They just sacrificed it near the end. I think they got flanked. They were so focused on that forward push on Gronky's position where he was hiding up front, and the 2 picks that they got, they wanted to find more. They send one player off. There's one player lurking behind. Suddenly, they don't watch behind. As soon as that player is executed while down, it's done. You cannot give up any contention at any point, or the round is over at that point. One small misstep from Justice, and they drop a map that we were all kind of giving towards them already.
That's a huge dub out of Right Turtle. Let's check out these replays. Incredible highlights out of them. A real back and forth, though. You know, I really thought Justice was going to be able to come back, but hey, yeah, the Charlie Niner, like you said, you got to watch out for that one. It really, really will bite you, especially on a 10K day. The championship Sunday is when it all comes down. And here you saw those final seconds in the first round. It came down to pretty much the similar situation. Right Turtle came out on top, and they were ready for it in the second round as well. They knew what to expect. Justice was basically teaching them exactly how to play this map. They were, getting flanked a lot, and they learned from all of these mistakes that they were making on the fly. That 1 HP win by Prosper, yeah, that was fantastic. I mean, there was, a big chance for a big play there, getting both those kills, but yeah, just rolling off the objective and at an inconvenient time, not having both your teammates in the hill, getting taken down, going down, it gets really chaotic, and the correct comms don't come through fast enough. You can't react to them in time to be able to get back to the objective. So it really comes down to how you set up your team's control there towards the end. You've got to be prepared for it. Your team has got to have that knowledge ahead of time, knowing what to do, what corners to watch, and Justice just weren't on top of it. They really let that one slip through the cracks. Right Turtle taking their best map, 2-0. That to me spells 3-0 in my opinion. What do you think? This Palace demo, you think Justice can come back?
If I had not just watched Right Turtle put up a show on this map in the last match that we got to see of them versus the Gorillas, who are, as we remember, are sitting in those grand finals waiting. This was the map that Right Turtle, I think, really performed, won several rounds straight on this one, and I think they can absolutely do it. We have the bands ready to look at, so we can see kind of what's going to be taken away from them. And guess what? Neither of these are Runway, which we saw performing phenomenally for Slop on this map. He was just deleting Cool from across the map basically every other round. Obviously no Cool in this game for him to shoot, but he was still lethal even without his personal target selected on the map.
Well, he's going to be looking to do that to all of the players on Justice this time, not just one. He wants to just bully them all down and close this one out. That's the best deal for Right Turtle. They're having to play a little extra because of their loss in the winners bracket finals, and that is going to add to the marathon that is the tournament. So you want to make sure that you're winning these as fast as possible. Taking this game will just help them to maybe win the grand finals as well. So here we go. We're jumping into game number 3 of this losers bracket finals on Championship Sunday, the 10K, the main event of October. Rogue Company never looking as good as it is today. We're seeing some new names come in. We're seeing multiple teams start to compete for the top. Not just one, not just two, but there are some major contenders, and we're witnessing it right now as Gaming Gorillas are waiting in this grand finals with our 2 dominant teams in the past, Justice and Right Turtle, being in this losers bracket finals, duking it out. The 2 titans of Roko. Runway, hey, we expected it.
The only
going to be making sure he takes some heads.
Yeah, the only insta-lock coming in, I think that makes sense. The Talon as well, we saw how beneficial that was to Right Turtle in the last thing. And, I mean, I think you said there's a lot of teams that are coming up. I think we are possibly on the verge, on the cusp of a new era of Rogue Company in general. Blue just let us know Justice have dropped more maps this weekend than they ever have in a 10K main event. If that isn't the signal of a new stage of Roko, then I don't know what is. Even just dropping that breach might be that, but the selections are in. The Rogues have been picked. We are heading into what could be the final map of the tournament for Justice, and it's a lot earlier than we're used to seeing in months prior.
All right, with these comps, we have the Talon with the Intel Dart, obviously Dallas and Dahlia. We've got the Dallas on the other side as well with a Runway, so we could possibly see the mirror snipe matches that we would love to be able to put up on those replays and just see some excellent headshots out of both the Runways. We didn't see too much of that. We saw a lot of avoidance when there's a mirror match like this between the snipers. I think it was Pixie against Slop, and they just were not trying to get the same angles. They were playing it as smart as possible, trying to stay up, did not want to get those early downs on each other, and that really worked out in Slop's favor. Slop was able to make some big plays. And then we've got the Kestrel linked up with Dahl for Justice. This is going to be an absolutely must-win. The tournament life on the line for Justice. See if they can do it.
And you can see the plant already down for Right Turtle, fairly forward here. They have some solid positioning, and how the long sightline flanks come in from the members of Justice, I think, will kind of be the story here. I don't see Delena up front, but I see a lot of people taking a lot of damage fairly up front here. You can see 40 and Gronky just barely hanging on, and the first to fall will be Gronky, courtesy of that Incen. But I said it, the long flank, the long sightline flank, it's what we had to look for. Delena can only get one, though, and I think that'll spell probably the end of the round for them here. Still a bunch of players strong, but they all fall to the bomb, which goes off near the end. Right Turtle denying that flank from Delena basically won them that round.
Gotta be on top of the ball when it comes down to these big games. You got to make sure that you're ready for the flanks. That awareness is going to help you so much, like we saw from Slop on the Canals match, game. It was just such a good play from him, you know, and not having that awareness to catch his flank just ended everything for Justice. So you've got to make sure that you're on top of that. You got to get those flanks under control at all times. The intel definitely helps, but you just got to have the in-game awareness as well. Slop trying to line up a shot. He gets the shoulder shot onto Delena.
Close.
Almost able to follow up with another. And Kestrel, Gronky able to land that onto MS. His opening this one up onto 40. So the subs going at it right now. And, oh, that's going to be a Simtex to the face. His does get the trade, though, so that's good. And one player left for Right Turtle. We've got Gronky trying to put some shots down, just spams the top of it, and as soon as that player peeks, boom, they're dead.
Not only is he dead, he went to the stratosphere. He was so tense from hiding against that cover there. But I mean, that's the one of the tough things about this map. If you don't have that high ground control, that cover not necessarily as efficient at keeping you alive when you're trying to make those close holes on occasion. So Prosper seems safe, but not when they don't have that full coverage there. Slop, a couple of shots that, I mean, if one of those is a headshot, I feel like that round goes a little bit differently. I don't like necessarily leaning on a round like that as close as it is, but Fragout's movement, honestly, really tripped him up. Made it difficult for him to confirm effectively anything there. As we look at where their offense might be going this time around, it is still primarily anchored around B. As you can see, Delana trying to get as much intel for his team as possible, but there's a close lurker, and that's the Dallas.
Delana watching mid. His going to get out of there. Going to reform a push here. The bomb is planted, though. His gets into a fight with Gronky. That's going to be it for me, man. I've seen enough. Hizzy is showing up today. This is the championship Sunday. He's given a big chance to make a name for himself. He's on one of the best rosters in the game, and he's filling those shoes extremely well. Slop going to get a nice down onto Fragout, and we're going to see the lineup on the corners. Oh my gosh, 5 HP. Slop's got to back down here. He's going to try to peek this corner, see if Delana's ready for it. Doesn't look like it's going to be a kill because Slop gets the peek and gets the kill into 40. Oh my god, what just happened? Slop, you beast. You absolute freak. He just did
Slop
something.
Just deletes them both immediately. Great play by Slop. We can watch that POV from here, exactly how he handled it. So quick one onto 40 right there as soon as the head peaks, and Delana makes the same mistake of popping up like a little target in the end. Fantastic from Slop. And Slop and the rest of Right Turtle, they have been a core for long enough where I feel like Hizzy has a harder job here than 40. They've had a bit of a rotating fourth on Justice for a little while. Obviously, they had kind of settled on Ink, but there was definitely time when that was up in the air. Now, they just played with Exclusive. Now they're playing with 40. I feel like they've been more kind of up in the air about who is going to be the fourth for their team. Right Turtle have been more of a unit. I feel like it's harder for someone to kind of really get and settle in and find how their place in a team that has been so established in a 4-player roster as long as they have, but it's clearly working now. They are running them down. Only Delana still stands, and it won't be for much longer as Slop mows him down on the attempted rotate.
Yeah, that's a very good point you just made, and along with it, Justice have lost their first round on King of the Hill Breach that they've lost all month. Or out of all the Breach King of the Hill, they have not lost a single round on that map. That is unreal. They are so good on that map, and the Right Turtle was able to take them down. And also, they've dropped more maps in this 10K than they've ever dropped in any other 10K. So Justice really, really are struggling. And you know, hey, they were put into a tough spot, right? You know, like Ink backing out last second, very last second. And then Exclusive on the day of, during the tournament, has to back down as well. So, you know, it's tough, but those are the kind of curveballs you're sent. And it's going to make it much harder, but they're still in this one, and they're going to try to do it, but Right Turtle are popping off. Slop going to get that easy cleanup to help out his teammate, and the shoulder shot onto Delana. Delana not going to be able to survive, and now we're in a 4-1 for Right Turtle. This is just starting to get really away from Justice right now. They seem to be absolutely demoralized. I was very, very conscious of Delana's angle in the round prior to what we just witnessed, because Slop got sent down by some team shot, was at 5 HP, and then immediately wrapped around with a double back on the right corner of the roof to get that double headshot with the snipe. Delana was in perfect positioning to get shots onto Slop immediately. So there's a lot of misplays happening, a lot of errors on the side of Justice right now that we probably usually wouldn't see in the past on their championship days. So just unfortunate little errors there, really keeping them back from taking some dubs and taking some rounds. But they're still only 3 away here, but this is a must-win map. They're down 2-0 in this series. Best of 5, losers bracket finals of the championship Sunday. Lots of pressure on them here. Slop still playing this same spot. Going to try to check out this wraparound and this flank, and the bomb's down. They are super set up. This is a ironclad wall of protection if I've ever seen it.
As his, oh my god, actually getting peeled for as well by Slop. That's 2 down immediately on the attempted flank. Again, it is just clinical so far from Right Turtle here, as there's no way 40's going to get away with that one. 5-1, what started off potentially decent for Justice has just fallen apart.
Slop getting those shots he needs to the most. He was able to get the cross if Delana had pushed his. And he also knew that there was a player that could possibly go up the stairs, and he was ready for that. It seems like that's really been a big story about Right Turtle, is that they've always had his back. Like, his has got to feel so good right now. He's like, man, this team's got it going on.
They're definitely feeling themselves right now. I'm not going to make the Slop nervous joke. I make it every single week. For once, I'm going to restrain myself, even though I do love this bug when we get to see this happen. He's a little nervous, but clearly still connecting the shots that he's got to make here. I thought Frag was going to go for a no-scope there, but maybe probably regarding that he didn't, because immediately Gronky will fall right after. Cannot take the fight against Prosper. Just 2v1s being forced by Justice. I feel like the pressure is just on them a little bit heavier than maybe they're used to.
Devotion to the face. Gonna end that one, and now we're only 2 rounds away from finding a finalist. If Right Turtle can take the next 2, and we're gonna see the switch up here. The first half is down. Runway, of course. Slop's been playing too darn well to switch up now. Daliel for the Prosper. Dallas for his. That's what's gonna work. You find what works and you stick to it. It's been awesome to see that his is able to finally set in with Right Turtle and start to play outstanding. I mean, he only needed like maybe 2 or 3 games before he was able to lock in today. So it's very nice that you can see the adaptability. If Slop, Prosper, or MS are making the calls for him and helping him out, it's been working. MS on the Talon, and then we've got Runway for Frag Out. We've seen some amazing things out of him in the past. He's really going to have to come up big here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, anytime you're down 6-1, everyone in your team is gonna need to come up big. So it's a lot of pressure kind of spread across the board for them. But obviously, we know what Runway can do on this map in particular. Those long sight lines, so lethal when you can choose how you take your engagements. You know, not a lot of other rogues can really have a sniper and then beat you in close range with an assault rifle. It's one of the benefits of Runway that I feel like gets overshadowed sometimes by how much extra utility she kind of brings to the table with your team, how much she can give you, like double incen, like we're watching Hizzy picking up right now as they set up for their first defense here in this map number 3. It's a wide split. He's not as close as Delano was, so maybe not looking for as much of a flank, but he's very aggressive.
Right Turtle hasn't played a Palace demo all month on broadcast, and Justice have 1 win on this map so far on broadcast from the qualifiers this month. Slop going to open it up early, taking down 40. Gronky answers back, takes down Slop, and there we go. Nice little flankaroo out of his, and that is going to do it for the 7th round. And we are 1 away from seeing Right Turtle go to the grand finals, and you can see they're feeling it. Talon with the celebration, greasing down the hair, getting it going on. This is a good Halloween here for Right Turtle. They have been playing outstanding, and they're looking to end this one right here. Justice got to make something huge happen. I don't know what it's going to be, because this has just been absolutely perfect play from Right Turtle. It has been so darn efficient. Every single thing they've done, they've switched up their gameplay, their strategies, and it's been working so darn well. Slop all over the board. 23 ALMs, 11 downs, 14 assists.
14 assists.
God, what an incredible performance.
And now on this last round, I mean, Runway with a pistol. That's not what you like to see. You don't like to see it, especially with Slop trying to dual Slop who has a sniper. Respectable amount of damage considering the mismatch here, and pistols beat sniper, I guess, too. Focus firing together will win it, but it is a traded down, so they will be able to get the res, except Justice won't be able to do that. Hizzy pushes aggressively enough to find Frag Out, and now playing at a disadvantage are the members of Justice in potentially their tournament point.
Bomb is going down. Hizzy with some big openers. That's going to be Hizzy on the feed once again, and that does it. Right Turtle take the losers finals. Oh my gosh. They were able to come together. They made it work with Hizzy. They lost Polza today. Polza, one of their best performing players yesterday, to an unfortunate injury, and they acquired Hizzy. It looked rough in the beginning, but they made it work, and now they took down Justice. What an unbelievable match from them. They were able to just dominate, and they took advantage of the fact Justice were, looking a little rough, and they just kept it going, and 3-0. We've got our grand finalists today, Krez. Let's check out those replays from that match. That was just a Slopodopolis map 3 for sure. We know we got tons of stuff from him, but who else was shining? Let's check it out. We got some great angles from our observers. They have been working their butts off all day long. Shout out to them. Shout out to the production today. It's been outstanding. Slop, just all 3 games. Fantastic play out of him. He's having an incredible day. He did yesterday, and he's coming through today as well. The curveball player, like I said, that right there could end a lot of teams' morale going into a losers finals, or trying to make their run in the losers bracket period. But it didn't phase them at all. They are keeping their heads about them, and they're looking for that big dub.
They want the 2-peat, even with the small roster switch up, and I think Hizzy's really getting into the Right Turtle mindset. I think map number 3 was a big performance by him on particular there, the way that he was able to kind of play it out, kind of shut down Delana a bit at the time. And I mean, look, if you look at this, if you told me this, if you didn't tell me who they played and told me this was the round 1 matchup, I would believe you, because that's what we normally see in round 1, when the seeding is a bit mismatched. This was just a dominant performance by Right Turtle, and the layout does not lie.
No, it doesn't. That was just very, very one-sided. Incredible work out of Right Turtle. But we have got it. We've got our match. It's the championship game. It is going to be Right Turtle taking on the Gaming Gorillas. Turtles versus Gorillas. Who would have guessed? That's going to be it. We've got the zoo going on at Rogue Company. And, yeah, it's just going to be outstanding. So we are going to go to a quick break. But when we get back, we have got a special announcement, some big news you want to stick around for. We'll see you then.